my name is Vani and I am your reporter for today. My topic today is all about deductive and inductive method of teaching, and the intended learning outcomes of this topic is to distinguish between the deductive and inductive method of teaching, and also to understand the advantage and disadvantage of deductive and inductive as a method of teaching. Now, what is the deductive method? Deductive method is more a teacher-centered approach. This means the teacher gives the students a new concept, explain it, and then the students practice using this concept. It is also called a deductive instruction. This is a method that only teacher is speaking and students are listening. Always remember that the deductive approach is teacher-dominated. It begins with abstract rule, generalization, principles, and ends with specific example and concrete details. Let's come to the advantage of deductive method. Deductive method is straight to the point, timing savings, and many rules can be quickly explained. Deductive method allow more time to practice. It respects the intelligence and maturity of many students. It confirms many student expectations about classroom learning. The deductive method covers a wider scope of subject matter over a period of time because teacher gives the generalization at the beginning of the lesson. Let's discuss about the disadvantage of the deductive method. In deductive method, it may not have sufficient mental language or may not be able to understand the concept involved. Explanation is seldom as memorable as other form of presentation. Grammar explanation encourage a teacher-fronted and transmission style in classroom. The disadvantage of deductive method, it is not supportive of three principles that learning is an active process. There is a less involvement on the part of the learners. Lesson appears uninteresting at first because lesson begin with the abstract, with what the learners do not know. So at the beginning of the lesson, it will look irrelevant and interesting. And now, let's tackle about inductive method. What is inductive method? Inductive method is more on student-centered approach. In contrast with deductive method, inductive instruction makes the student noticing instead of explaining a given concept and following this explanation with example. The teacher presents students with main examples showing how the concept is used. The intent is for students to notice by way of example and how the concept is worked. It is also called as inductive instruction. This is a method where student needs to learn new things and gain knowledge by themselves. Take note that inductive method is less teacher-directed than the deductive method. It begins with specific details, concrete data, and examples, and ends with generalization rules or principle. For the advantage of an inductive method, rules learners that discover themselves are more meaningful and memorable. Students are more active involved in the learning process. Students will have greater self-reliance and autonomy. Advantage of inductive method that the learnings, it begins with what the student know. It begins with the experience of the students. The learners are more engaged in the teaching learning process. With the facilitating skills, the learner formulate generalization or rules. For the disadvantage of inductive method, students may hypothesize the wrong rules. In inductive method, it can place heavy demands on teachers in lesson planning. Time and energy spent working out rules may mislead students into believing that rules are the objectives of the language learning. For the disadvantage of inductive method, it requires more time and so less subject matter will be covered. It demands expert facilitating skills on the part of the teacher. We got to ask the right question, organize answers, and comments to pave the way the derivation of generalization.